I want to get real with you for a second. I have a confession to make. I am not proud of my old inferences system. It was not bad, but it wasn't great. And recently, I've developed a new system for inferences that I've been having my private tutoring students use. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing that new process with you. And the process is the 3-note system. That's right, we are actually going to be taking notes. And I know, what are you doing, Rob? I'm trying to help you raise your score, Ava. I want you to get a 1600, John. So we're going to talk about a strategy that works a little bit better, even if it takes some more effort on your part, okay? And while I used to never recommend taking notes, I have changed my ways because it has actually been really helpful for my private tutoring students. And I want to pass that along to you guys, okay? So your first note should be a summary in your own words of the first half of the passage or so. You won't necessarily know where this is until you get there, but basically you want to stop yourself somewhere around the middle of the passage to make sure that you actually understand what you're reading. The reason behind this is a lot of students with these questions will just read, and even though their eyes are passing over the text, they're not actually comprehending what they're reading. So this forces you to prove to yourself that you know what you just read. So on this one, for example, I'm probably actually going to stop right here. Definitely doesn't look like the first half, but you can see that the next sentence is going to be really long and it's going to take us all the way here. So it's not like you have to find the exact half of the text. It's just the first chunk of text that feels like it could be summarized for you. And I encourage you to pause and do this with me. I'm not going to be reading out loud because that would be a waste of our time. So you can pause and read silently. All right, let me write my note here. So my first note leading up to that period is babies learn songs, different dialects. And I want you to pay attention to what I did here. I was lazy. You should be lazy too. We do not have a lot of time. And you don't need to restate anything or include any specific words that aren't going to help you remember what you just read. For me, this summarizes what I just read, and I know exactly what I'm talking about. So you want to write notes like a caveman. Keep it really simple. As long as you can understand it, that's all that matters. Don't even worry about spelling. Now, your next note should take you close to the end of the passage. Usually it's going to be all the way to the sentence right before the one with the blank space, but sometimes it'll be a sentence or two before. It really, again, depends on how you're feeling about what you need to summarize. And for a really long passage, maybe you'll have 4 notes instead of 3 notes. And for an incredibly short passage, maybe you'll only have 2 notes. So it's a 3-note system based on the length of your average passage. And I'm just going to go ahead and go with the typical recommendation, which is all the way to that sentence right before the blank space sentence. All right, that's my note. So there was quite a lot to cover here, but basically it told us that a study was conducted, gave us some of the details about how the study was conducted, but I don't care about all those details because I really just want to synthesize what was the main message. The main message was that the nestlings preferred their own dialect, right? We see produced more begging calls in response to their own dialect. It straight up says right here that they prefer local dialects over the unfamiliar dialects. So that's an example of how you can take what's important out of a fairly large chunk of text. And as far as that skill goes, it's something you will develop over time, but taking these notes is actively helping you to practice that skill. That's another reason I really love this strategy. And then your final note is going to be based off of the last sentence, and it's also going to act as your prediction because you're basically going to summarize this sentence and you're going to summarize the blank space that doesn't exist yet. So you're going to fill in the blank yourself. Do not, I repeat, do not look at the answers. And again, I encourage you to pause the video and try doing this on your own first. All right, and I've got my final note / prediction here. So you're going to see this first part says influence mate. That's my summary of what was just said. And that part is optional. You don't necessarily have to summarize that little short bit, but I just wanted to demonstrate that for you. And then here is my prediction. So prefer romance with same dialect. It was talking about mate selection, mate being, a romantic partner. So I'm guessing that they would prefer to have a romantic relationship to find a husband or a wife with a bird with the same dialect. And those are the 3 notes that you're going to take. From here, we do not want to choose an answer. We want to eliminate wrong answers. And the way that we determine if an answer is wrong is if it does not match our prediction. At this point, we should not have to look at the text anymore. We are just focusing on our prediction. We are pretending that our prediction is correct, and it should be. We're going to get better at this, so you need to get confident with your predictions. Choice A doesn't say anything about romance or a mate. Choice B doesn't say anything about romance or a mate. Choice C says preference likely drives them when they mature to reproduce with these other guys from local rather than non-local populations. That would be the romance that I'm talking about. And it's mentioning local rather than non-local. So it doesn't quite say dialect, but it does say that the dialects are based on where they live. So this matches up with my prediction. Choice D, again, says nothing about romance or finding a mate. So by process of elimination, it's choice C, which is my correct answer. We're going to do this again now with a hard question. And this time, I want you to pause the video and do the whole dang thing. So I want you to take your 3 notes, and I want you to choose your answer, and then come back and see what happens on my end, see if you got it right. All right, my first note is checks fair comp. Basically, that means this thing checks for fair compensation. That's the main focus of the first sentence there from my perspective. I stopped here because I saw the word however, and however indicates a contrast, meaning we're definitely moving on to something new. All right, my next note ended up going all the way to here, and it's but agree kept secret. And I like to have a big old but here because anytime we have a contrast, it tends to be super important for the comprehension of the passage. So I like to emphasize that. So even though this is trying to check for something fair, agreements are kept secret. Okay. All right. And then my prediction here is so. Again, I want to emphasize the transition word there. Concern of outside help can't help. So basically, if they have to keep the agreement secret, it seems like maybe someone who's an expert or who knows better from outside of the agreement wouldn't be able to step in and say, hey, that's not fair. That's my prediction. Now I'm going to eliminate. Choice A is talking about monetary rewards, so money. There's not really any mention of money, and it's not in my prediction, so I'm going to get rid of it. Choice B doesn't say anything about outside help. Instead, it seems to be saying like it could be a bad thing for corporations, but the help I was referring to was to help the indigenous communities. So that's, I guess, kind of the opposite of what I want. C, preventing independent observers outside help from determining whether the agreements guarantee equitable compensation. Basically the fairness that I was talking about. So C, that is 100% my prediction. And honestly, I would stop because that is exactly what I was wanting. If you wanted to be safe, you could go ahead and eliminate D as well. But again, choice D just doesn't match with this prediction at all. So it's definitely not going to be choice D here. And let me know in the comments if you got that one right. We've got one more. This one is also rated hard. So pause the video, go through the 3-step process. All right, and for this one, I'm actually stopping at the comma because our sentence with the blank space starts right here. So I could definitely do 2 notes for this one, but I'll stick with 3 notes just for the sake of the video. All right, my first note is Euro used HOD techniques from before. At this point, I'm not going to explain myself because I think you should understand as long as you read the text. And then here, but they did not learn it from the HOD people. Again, emphasizing that but. And then finally, my prediction. All right, and this one's kind of weird because it's basically telling us like they didn't learn it from the actual HOD people. And then it says they didn't develop it independently, barring the fact that they would have come up with it on their own. So I have kind of a vague prediction here. They must have learned it somewhere else, which makes sense to me. So I'm going to eliminate choice A. They learned from other people who were more directly influenced by the HOD practices. That actually lines up pretty well because it's learning from somewhere else. And it would make sense if they learned from somebody who learned from the HOD, right? So it's just like secondhand knowledge, I guess. Choice B doesn't say anything about learning it elsewhere. It's quite out of scope, to be honest. Choice C says that they were widely used outside of northeastern United States. That doesn't make any sense at all. And it does not connect to my prediction of they must have learned it somewhere else. D says they only started to realize the benefits in the 19th century. Again, has nothing to do with my prediction. So boom, like that, pretty easily choice A. And I do want to point out that a lot of students will have trouble with this question. It is rated hard. And the reason they have trouble is they look at the answer choices and they try to choose one of the answer choices instead of breaking down the text first. But when you break down the text like this, you really understand what's going on and you can come up with a really strong prediction. Even though it technically takes a little bit longer to write something down, you end up saving time and getting the correct answer. So please don't be lazy, just take the notes. This is only one of many question types that I'm recommending this for. If you want more of these quick win strategies, use the link in the description and I will hook you up with a free English crash course.